Jordan. I love you, my friend. This is my favorite game. Do you want to see? Watch how I started. You touch it right here, then a big lion comes. You know a scary lion? It's so loud. I can roar just like him. Yeah, hear me roar? Roar! Don't be afraid. You might want to cover your ears. Here comes the animals. Pterosaurs is my favorite.
This terrible routine, watching you, waiting for you to wake, hoping you will never remember these days of illness and treatment. One day, I'll bring you here, show you your tiny handprints on the wall, and you'll be annoyed that we all think of you as some big miracle. Cancer will be such a small part of all you could grow to be. You will tire of hearing about it. You won't want to see the cards and notes I saved. And I won't mind at all. I'll hold the memories of this hard day. You just leave it behind.
minute. When the ducks work together, they can fly Farmer Bill to town. Those mischievous pigs are napping on Farmer Bill's couch. You know what the horse's favorite chess piece is? That's right, a bishop. Farmer Bill separates the sheep from the goats. Sheep go to heaven. Goats go to town.
I'm sorry, guys. It's not good. I'm sorry, guys. It's not good.
And there it is. They get it now.
The MRI?
Sometimes I wish we could just leave them waiting a few more minutes, because once they get this news, their life never goes back to how it was before. Those were their last normal minutes, and they didn't even know it.
Unfortunately, the size isn't terribly.
I'm glad he's so good at this. He takes the losses so personally. Joel's looking good. He's been making progress, his weight is up. It's just hard to believe that we only made it halfway through chemotherapy. It was rough at first, but I really started to think that he was gonna make it.
Any recurrence means the chemotherapy has failed. This is a tragedy. With an ATRT, as soon as you have a recurrence of any kind, it is fatal. It's only a matter of time before it spreads to several locations. We've already thrown all the chemotherapy we have at it. We can't continue to give him chemotherapy that we know it's resistant to, so there just aren't any treatment options that are curative.
We're
This is
very
not
good
what I wanted.
at end-of-life care. We're very good at managing the pain and masking symptoms at the end of life. How long are we talking about?
A few weeks to maybe 4 months.
Science, it's simpler.
Given you a lot to think about
Measurable.
already today.
I give A and B and I subtract C and I get this result, and I can do something to control it, or at least have the sense that I'm controlling it. But now all we have left is a miracle, and miracles are fickle. They don't always come, and we don't always know why. What if Joel's miracle doesn't come? I hope he lives. I've always hoped. And now I can't do anything but hope. Oh, it's radiation. At least we can do something. Hope doesn't require signing papers, or driving to hospitals, or holding Joel in my lap. Hope is for something someone else has to do for us. And when doctors can't, well, invisible Jesus must.
For you to consider. We're so sorry.
Oh,
God, I do not want a replacement baby. If that was your plan, I am not on board. I don't want some new baby to help me move on. I would not have chosen it. Oh God, Joel has to live or I will not love this baby.
I'm sorry, guys. It's not good. They've always been clear. Joel's had a recurrence of his tumor. Where is it? How big is it? Well, it's in the frontal cortex, and it's quite small at this point. But unfortunately, the size is terribly important. Any recurrence means the chemotherapy has failed. This is a tragedy. With an HER2, as soon as we have an recurrence of any kind, it is fatal. It is only a matter of time before it spreads to several locations. We have already thrown all the chemotherapy we have at it. We can't continue to give him chemotherapy that we know is resistant to. So there just aren't any treatment options that are curative.
We're very good at the end of life care. We're very good at managing pain and managing symptoms at the end of life. How long are we talking about?
I have so many things stirring around in my spirit that I have to write to settle myself and find God's wisdom in the midst of chaos. I'm scared I won't be strong enough to face the things we might have to face in the coming weeks and months. But then I remember how much grace God gave us to walk out everything we've already faced. I've never felt completely overwhelmed, and I've never felt alone. So no matter what comes next, and I truly cannot even begin to guess how this will go, I know we will be carried. I want to shout out, look what God is about to do. Watch how he delivers Joel. And at the same time, I want to roll up in a silent ball and wait it out with fear and trembling, so aware of all my doubt, but yet convinced that my doubt is insignificant compared to God's faithfulness.
Guys, are you ready for bed?
Joel, lay down. Okay. Should we do a song?
Sure.
Okay, big boys, why don't you come in here and we'll sing the littles a lullaby.
I'm tired.
I know, it's bedtime. Ugh, okay. Elijah,
Lay down.
Babe, did you even check in his mouth?
Joel, no.
Dear Eli, I feel nothing but pride for the way you battled cancer. I remember the way you learned to ride your tricycle down the hospital hallway instead of down the sidewalk like other 3-year-olds. It was hard for me to pray to God, "Thy will be done," when I really just wanted so desperately for Him to heal you. In the 4.5 years that you dealt with harsh treatments, only once did you ask why God let you get cancer. I hope He has been able to explain the why to you, as I have always believed that He knew how strong you were and wanted to use you and your situation to positively impact so many lives. I remember how you never let me go to bed without telling me that you loved me, and how those were your very last words to me. You taught me what was truly important in life, son. Still now, years after you left Earth, people are impacted by your life and the lessons you taught us. Thousands of people from around the world read your blog and still feel such a strong connection to you, even though they never met you in person. You would be happy to know that we continue to sell the Beat Cancer t-shirts that you love so much. We're still using them to raise awareness and funds for childhood cancer research and family and patient support programs. When you passed away, my greatest fear was that you would be forgotten. So many people still talk about you and how you changed their lives. That is such a precious gift to me as your father. Eli, you truly impacted more lives in your almost 8 years on Earth than many people do in a lifetime. I love you, buddy, and I can't wait to see you again. Love, Dad.
We've been through so much already. This is a new degree of tragedy, but it's not so much different from the struggle we've already been living. We pressed into God. We pressed into faith. We fought until we found peace. We stood in peace when our flesh wanted to strive more. We stood in peace when it started to feel like laziness or foolishness or both. We waited for God to direct us specifically in prayer because all the directions we had initiated had not panned out. We prayed for no nausea because that's what we felt in our spirits we were supposed to pray, even though we'd prayed it countless times before while Joel continued to vomit. We saw one small miracle, and then another. We waited to pray specific things until we were given specific direction, and we saw bigger miracles. And yet, if you asked either of us if we were doing enough, trying hard enough, we would say no.
I had been in this room with my father before, during the brief window where he wasn't dying but was instead getting better. That wasn't the man I saw this time. I saw the other one, the one who cried out and needed holding, the one who fell asleep for 20 seconds and then woke up a different person each time. There was a clear part right in the middle of it, a minute or so, where everything was calm before his tour of hell resumed. That was goodbye, even if no one said it. I don't think I will ever get better after having seen that. I think this is the kind of knowing that stays with you. I can reach into my pocket now and find it there.
As this long day draws to a close, I am tired, but not sleepy. My face is puffy from crying. I have a dry throat and dry hands, a slight headache, and a desire to write down absolutely everything. I want to describe the feeling of being entirely empty and entirely resolute. I want to explore how I can be deeply sad and incredibly hopeful at the same time. I want to talk about holding Joel's hand, walking down the hall wanting to soak in the moment, to memorize the feeling of having his hand and mine, to let it matter, and then hating that my thoughts swing to, because what if I can't hold his hand one day? And hating that thought, wishing I could just appreciate each second of Joel without that appreciation spilling into the pre-morning I refuse to do because I believe he will live. But instead of fighting the brief thoughts of mourning, choosing to fight instead that lie that says that those thoughts betray some doubt, some mistrust of God, when I know that those thoughts make me human. That God knows I am human. He doesn't make Joel's victory dependent on me never feeling unsure.
Joel has chicken stuffed in his cheeks from dinner.
I won't let myself hold anything back this time. I would rather feel disappointed and let God heal my heart than to feel like I did not push myself as far as I possibly could in faith for my son. It was easier to believe that God would win this battle for Joel when the dragon Joel was facing was blurry, seen from a great distance up on a hill very far away. Now the dragon Joel is facing is close enough for us to begin to see every scale and scar. We can feel its breath. We were confident before because we weren't quite sure what we were facing, then our confidence was misplaced. When the dragon becomes more real, then our God must become even bigger, even more real to us. Our faith must grow to match our circumstances. We must not, no matter how tempting, try to shrink our circumstances to match our perception of God.
I remember the day I was diagnosed. I remember the hallucinations from the high fever of 5-year-old's nightmares. I remember my mother silently weeping in the doctor's office. I remember friends and family gathered around my hospital bed in prayer. I remember the 2-hour ambulance ride to St. Jude where they could better care for me. I remember the 2.5 years of weekly chemo treatments, the numerous lumbar punctures and bone marrow aspirates. I remember Doctors Bell, Dahl, and Kalinske, nurses Jean, Judy, and Dale, Miss Chris in social work, Darlene in travel, all part of the team that cared for me. I am a walking memorial to their successes. I remember the other patients I'd see each time I went to the hospital for chemo. I remember when some stopped coming. I knew what that meant. I remember the years of summer camp for children with cancer, children like me, I remember their laughter and the midnight talks of fears and joys, normal kid stuff. Some less so. I remember when some stopped coming. I knew what that meant. But I remember them. I am, and other survivors are, memorials to those who lost their fights.
Oh, her expectation is so maddening sometimes. You know what she wrote on the eve of Joel's first surgery? The one back in January when we first found the tumor? I seriously feel like a kid on Christmas Eve. I'm pleading for God to spare his life, and I'm tempted to despair because self-inspection leads me to conclude I shouldn't expect much of anything. And yet my wife is expecting a surprise party from the Lord, replete with presents, supernatural miracles. I envy her.
Hop in bed, boys. Let's go.
Boys, get in bed.
Oh, can you please tell us a story?
Sure.
Okay. This is the story of a very brave knight named Joel.
Joel the baby knight?
Yes, Joel the baby knight, but he's also Joel the very brave knight, and he was being chased by a dragon named Cancer.
Because of his tumor?
Mm-hmm.
Where does the dragon live?
In a forest.
Is the dragon big?
Very
big. Does the dragon breathe fire?
So much. Fire, you guys.
So, Joel has armor, like a sword and a shield and stuff? Ooh, or maybe a spear?
Yeah, that sounds good. So brave Sir Joel, with his sword and his shield and his awesome spear and his super jumping ability, was being chased by a dragon named Cancer.
What other superpowers does he have?
He also has grace.
That's not a superpower.
It's the best superpower.
Do you guys know what grace means?
Yeah, it's kind of like help.
Yeah, it's kind of like help. You know, and he's not the only one who's ever tried to fight this dragon. Some very brave knights have fought this dragon and lost. And some are able to drive the dragon off, and they can go home, and they can quit fighting. And the kingdom is safe.
Joel's been fighting this dragon for a long time, huh?
A long time.
But Joel found a nice empty cave where he could rest. And it seemed like the dragon couldn't find him. But just when he thought that the danger was past, the dragon found his hiding spot and came after him in the cave.
dragon's going to kill Joel. Joel's going to lose.
Why do you say that?
Because Joel is just a baby. Babies can't kill dragons.
You're right. A baby can't kill a dragon. But that's the best part of this story. God fights for Joel. He fights dragon cancer right with Joel. And we know that God can win even if Joel can't. That's grace.
What about Tim from church, Mom? He died from cancer. Wasn't God fighting for him? Didn't he have grace?
Of course God fought for Tim too. Tim fought so well. And he was so brave and so strong. God let him rest. It may have seemed like the dragon won because Tim died. But we know that Tim's in heaven and that he's with God and that God is so proud of him. So maybe for Tim, getting to be done fighting was
Ryan, get in the boat.
I can't.
You have to, you'll drown.
We're already drowning. How can you sit there like that?
Despair doesn't help anything.
Neither does false hope. And I'm not despairing.
How can you say false hope? You're drowning!
Well, you're missing your oars! And you don't even know where you're going! And yet you're so sure you're gonna get there!
It's better than drowning!
Well, enjoy floating on the surface like you always do.
There's nothing deep about drowning. Just get in the boat!
You have to let me feel this! Someone has to.
That's not fair. I love him as much as you do. I just really believe we're going to be okay.
So, how long will we be in California?
I don't actually know. That's kind of why we're packing up everything, is because if the trial works really well, then maybe we'll stay.
Dear Eli, I feel nothing but pride for the way you battled cancer. I remember the way you learned to ride your tricycle down the hospital hallway instead of down the sidewalk like other 3-year-olds. It was hard for me to pray to God, "Thy will be done," when I really just wanted so desperately for Him to heal you. In the 4.5 years that you dealt with harsh treatments, only once did you ask why God let you get cancer. I hope he has been able to explain the why to you, as I have always believed that he knew how strong you were and wanted to use you and your situation to positively impact so many lives. I remember how you never let me go to bed without telling me that you loved me, and how those were your very last words to me. You taught me what was truly important in life, son. Still now, years after you left Earth, people are impacted by your life and the lessons you taught us. Thousands of people from around the world read your blog and still feel such a strong connection to you, even though they never met you in person.
I had been in this room with my father before, during the brief window where he wasn't dying but was instead getting better. That wasn't the man I saw this time. I saw the other one, the one who cried out and needed holding, the one who fell asleep for 20 seconds and then woke up a different person each time. There was a clear part right in the middle of it, a minute or so, where everything was calm before his tour of hell resumed. That was goodbye, even if no one said it. I don't think I will ever get better after having seen that. I think this is the kind of knowing that stays with you. I can reach into my pocket now and find it there.
Guys, are you ready for bed?
Joel, lay down. Okay. Should we do a song?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, big boys, why don't you come in here and we'll sing the littles a lullaby.
I'm tired.
I have so many things stirring around in my spirit that I have to write to settle myself and find God's wisdom in the midst of chaos. I'm scared I won't be strong enough to face the things we might have to face in the coming weeks and months. But then I remember how much grace God gave us to walk out everything we've already faced. I've never felt completely overwhelmed, and I've never felt alone. So no matter what comes next, and I truly cannot even begin to guess how this will go, I know we will be carried. I want to shout out, look what God is about to do. Watch how he delivers Joel. And at the same time, I want to roll up in a silent ball and wait it out with fear and trembling, so aware of all my doubt, but yet convinced that my doubt is insignificant compared to God's faithfulness.
You would be happy to know that we continue to sell the Beat Cancer t-shirts that you love so much. We're still using them to raise awareness and funds for childhood cancer research and family and patient support programs. When you passed away, my greatest fear was that you would be forgotten. So many people still talk about you and how you changed their lives.
I'm sure my expectation looks like denial, but seeing Joel dying does not make me any less certain that he will be healed. In some ways, I feel more certain, not because the same doubts don't come to me, but because I know that they will not be entertained much longer, because this chapter is almost finished, and we will have an ending one way or the other. So the doubts and fears that make me reaffirm that even if I'm wrong, this is where I stand, become less and less powerful. People's conciliatory words of comfort meant to reassure us and help us accept Joel's death don't sit well with me. They aren't offensive because I know the heart behind them is good, but they are weak words because it's so obvious to me that death is the given. I don't have to work to be ready for it or accept it. It is coming whether I would accept it or not. It has been coming slowly for so long. I don't have to work to understand that Joel is dying. It is obvious. Heaven is amazing. And so, I'm not worried about death. It will come regardless of where I stand and wait. But now, death is circling close enough for redemption to finally feel closer.
The sunset looks pretty from here. The orange glow cast on the wall. Better than the muted colors of this hospital. I wonder why they choose blues and greens. They, the ones who choose the colors that heal. Green for life. Blue. For comfort. Purple stripes to hide the stains. This chair is too small and sticks to my skin. I hate vinyl. Blue, purple. The ocean, maybe? No, under the ocean. Silent, warm, and salty, like tears. He won't stop crying. I don't blame him. He feels miserable. I hate that we're here. I hate that he's sick. I just want him to feel better. I hate this room. I didn't used to. For a moment it was an adventure. I was cast as the compassionate and caring father, holed up with his fragile son in a small cleft in the rocks. The storm raging, waves ripping at the sharp black rocks below, and enveloped in my arms, he feels safe, and I am holding him firmly, trying not to slip. Because if you hold tight enough, nothing will take him. Right? Shh. It's okay, Jolie. Shh. Oh, don't throw your head, buddy. Don't. Here we go, bouncing around. Do you like that? Oh, I love your giggle. Bounce around. Is that funny? A bounce, a bounce, a bounce, bounce, bounce. Oh, he won't stop crying. Hungry. I wonder if he's hungry. He's screaming louder. Buddy, don't you want juice? He hits the box. I don't catch it. He drinks it greedily. Big, deep gulps. Okay, Jolie, that's enough. Breathe, kiddo. And he does. And I wipe his face of snot and tears and juice. And then he vomits, and I catch it. I always catch it. I know you're thirsty, buddy, but you'll throw it up. No, don't grab too hard. You'll squirt all the juice out. Here, let me have it. It's so late, Joel. Lay down. I can't hold you. I can't make you feel better. Shh. Shh. Okay, buddy, okay. I'll hold you. Shh. Shh. Oh, Joel Bug. You look so miserable. No! Don't hit your head on the bars, Joel. Joel! I know you're mad. Please stop. Please. Stop. I shake. I weep. I pray. I plead. I need peace. I am empty. You are. I don't know all that you are. You are there. I want you here. I want you to call my son. I cannot. And you've brought us this far. He's still here, not dead, not there, with you. Oh God, I want him here with me. Please. Peace. He sleeps. Thank you. There's a story in the Bible where Jesus and his disciples are on a boat. And a furious storm hits the sea, and everyone thinks they're gonna die. And where do you think Jesus is? Rowing alongside them? No. He's asleep in the back of the boat. So his disciples are freaking out and wake him up, and they say, "Don't you care if we drown?" So Jesus gets up and he says to the storm, "Quiet, be still." And the sea becomes completely calm. Then he asks his disciples why they are so scared and if they have any faith at all. Like he was frustrated with them. Because even though Jesus said, "Let's go to the other side of the lake," His disciples thought he was going to just let them die. So Joel died. Everyone does eventually, I suppose.
They are weak, but he is strong. Yes, Jesus loves Joel. Yes, Jesus loves Joel. Yes, Jesus loves Joel. La 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 la. He loves Joel so much. Oh, he loves Joel. The Bible tells me so.
But more than that, if he does die, will Jesus even care? Will he weep for him as he did for Lazarus? Will he weep for me? I think greater than my fear of death is that of insignificance. Or rather, my default assumption is that my thoughts and passions and loves and the stuff of my being are insignificant. How could the creator of all that is and ever was love my son as he did Lazarus? And could my soul stranded on this blue raft awash in a sea of stars, ice, and dust matter enough to him to turn his hand in mercy? Even while Jesus wept for Lazarus. 5 minutes later, he raised Lazarus from the dead.
I'm sorry. I should have known we'd both end up in the same place. We always do. It just scares me every time. I just really believe he'll be healed. I know you believe too, just when you act like that, I get all unsure.
I don't know that.
What do you mean?
I just hope